Father Gerald Murray, a pastor at St. Joseph's Church in New York City, and Father Michael Duffy, a rector at St. Agnes Cathedral in Rockville Center, New York. Thank you both for being here today. Father Murray, if I could start with you. As we approach to celebrate the resurrection on Sunday, Easter Sunday today, it's such an important time for Christians around the world as we reflect on the price that Jesus paid on Good Friday. Can you talk to us about that message?
Yes, Good Friday, Sean, gives us an understanding of how it is that we can get through all the difficulties of life, because we all have burdens to bear, we all have sorrows, illnesses, disappointments, we have warfare in the world, we have, many tragedies going on, and we say, well, how can we bear it all? And the Good Friday message is, well, Jesus bore all of those sins and difficulties on the cross, and he died for our sins to obtain forgiveness, and then Easter, he rose from the dead triumphant. So good triumphs over evil. That really is the message of Good Friday. And we call it good, even though it's the day Jesus died, because his death was a saving death. He gave himself freely in death to give us new life. So Easter promises that great victory of that great victory of goodness and holiness and life over sin and death.
Yeah. Father Duffy, I'm noticing something unique at church, and that is there are a lot of young people, teenagers, college kids that you just see pouring into church. And the numbers actually back that up. They are seeing rising conversions, especially among Gen Z. According to the Catholic Standard, the archdioceses across the country are seeing increases in new members of the church, including the Archdiocese of Newark, New Jersey. They saw a 30% increase since 2025. Ministries on college campuses like Texas A&M, University of Texas at Austin, Notre Dame, Arizona State, they also are reporting all these kids heading to church. So why do you think that there are so many young people are now turning back to church?
I think the reality is that people have been looking for something for a long time, and they've not been finding it, right? That our culture tells us that, if you make a lot of money, if you get very famous, if you have a lot of friends, that's where you're going to find your peace. That's where you're going to find everything that you need. And all we need to do is look at the celebrities in the world who are falling apart, and it tells us that that's not the answer. And so for the last number of months, maybe over a year now, we've been seeing an increase in people coming back to church because they recognize that they're made for something more than what this world offers. Yeah. And that the resurrection of Jesus Christ that we'll celebrate on Easter Sunday demands a response. Either it's true or it's not. And if it's true, it's the most true thing this world has ever known. And I need and I want to give my life to something like that, because that gives me a direction forward of how to then live my life and find that joy in my life that I'm not finding it at work or making money or finding all these other pleasures that they're just not doing it. So here on Long Island, where I'm a priest, we have the highest number of baptisms since we've started recording this data, in decades.
Yeah, it really is
100 more than the previous year here on Long Island.
Yeah, it really is starting to change. Father Murray, my youngest son is at the University of Texas at Austin. He pledged a Christian fraternity, joined the Christian Business Council, and the largest student group organization is Young Life. I mean, it's just hordes of kids are going back to seeking faith, spirituality, and I understand that the information that's been studied shows that you're seeing it even higher among men. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's actually one of the great news stories of these days, is that young men are coming back to religion. Women are traditionally viewed as more religious, and I can bear that out by the number of people coming to my parish. Most are female, but lots of young men coming back. And I think this is a result of understanding that, as Father Duffy was saying, the promises of the world are all ephemeral. You can have fun, you can have money, you can have friends, but what you really want to know is, what happens when I die?
Yeah.
What's the real purpose of life? Where's true justice? That's why people are coming to church, because Christianity offers answers to those questions, and the answers are demanding, but on the other hand, they're fulfilling. No one ever said, I accomplished great things by sitting on a couch. We accomplish great things by doing the will of God, and that takes some sacrifice.
I'm Sean Kreisman. For stories and content just like this, check out National Report weekdays 9 to noon, only on Newsmax.